Are we good? Can everyone hear me out there? Show me some love in the chat. Let me know where you're from. So it's good to see you, Danielle. Dope, dope, dope. What's up, Boston? What's up, Brockton? Hyde Park in the house. I see you. Dorchester, I see you. West Virginia's in the house. Okay. That's what's up. Thanks for rocking with us tonight. PVD in the house. Jay Springer, I see you, boy. Cat Morris, what's good? Shout out to everybody. Rosendale, Randolph, Roxbury. Puerto Rico. Okay. Shy City, what up? All right, y'all. We won't be on CP time too much, so I'll go ahead and get it started, all right? Listen, so what's up, everybody, and welcome to MTV Cribs. Oh, wait, that's the wrong show. It just kind of feels like that since we've been in quarantine. But I hope that you guys are all doing well and you're safe and you're warm during this crazy, crazy year called 2020. In any event, I want to thank you all for tuning in to the live finale of the inaugural Versus the Vibes battle presented to you by BAMFest and Berkshire Bank. I am Sharra Amanda, and my resume says a ton of things, but most importantly, I'm your host tonight, and I want to thank you for rocking with us. I'm so excited to see you all, and I can't wait to get into everything. So I want you guys to know that you're witnessing some BAMFest history, as this is the first time we've done an artist battle. In a minute, I'll be joined by a panel of amazing judges. Like, these folks are amazing, y'all, to discuss our contestant performances and ultimately pick a winner for the Versus the Vibes battle. Before I bring out our judges, I want to give a special thank you and shout out to our sponsors because we can't do it without you guys. One is Berkshire Bank, who served as our main partner and sponsor. Thank you to our venue partners, the Box Center and the Bridge Sound and Stage in Cambridge. Shout out to the Bridge. Our prize sponsors, the record company and Analyze, and our production team, TGGT Entertainment. I want to remind you that our amazing three artists tonight are battling for a spot. The biggest thing that they're battling for is a spot on the 2021 BAMS Festival stage, but they're also going to win a $1,000 cash prize, rehearsal time at the record company, a brand management consulting with Analyve.com, a professional photo shoot with OJ Slaughter, and everybody, I'm telling you, get your photos up, you need them. And then ultimately to join us in June 2021 on the main stage for the Boston Art and Music Soul Festival. So without any further ado, I see you guys in the chat still holding it down. I want you to get your flame emojis ready because we're about to introduce these amazing, on fire judges to you tonight. So first and foremost, number one is Candace McDuffie. She's a respected cultural critic and music journalist who focuses on the intersection of race, gender, and entertainment. Her written work has been featured on digital platforms such as Rolling Stone, MTV, Forbes, Grammy.com, y'all, Paper, Entertainment Weekly, Glam. I mean, I can keep going on and on and on. She's a bad sister. As a public speaker, she's given talks and moderated panels. She sat on panels like the Writer's Digest Annual Conference, the Muse, the Marketplace. And although her talents have taken her all over, she's based right here in our hometown, Boston. So go ahead and put some flame emojis in the chat for our girl, Candace McDuffie.
Thank you. Thank you.
Candace, how you doing, mama?
Doing good. Thank you so much for having me.
Awesome. Absolutely. Thank you for being here. Next we have, and I won't read his bio because he's just that dope, y'all. You might know him from the group Little Brother. You might know him from the Foreign Exchange. You might know him as Half a Tiglero. You might know him as so many other things, but he's a widely respected, down-to-earth singer and rapper. So before your boy Drake was doing, as a matter of fact, this is Drake's favorite rapper. I just want y'all to know that, okay? He killed the game with his first solo project, Charity Starts at Home, which is actually one of my most listened to albums ever on Spotify. Shout out to those analytics. And he's just an amazing person. So like I said, you might know him from Little Brother, but he's becoming now my big brother. Thank you so much. And give it up for the rap game Raleigh Forbes, Mr. Phonte Coleman. How you doing?
What up?
Did you?
That was the greatest intro I've ever received. Thank you so much.
I'll take it. I'll
Yo,
take it.
yeah, shout out to
Absolutely.
I see my man Dwayne in the chat. Shout out to him. Shout out my man Dwayne. I see him. Representing
That's what's up.
Providence, Seattle Providence.
Okay, PVD, I see y'all. Awesome. Thanks, Tay, for being here so much. And last and certainly
Sure.
not least is my big homie, Brandon ShowOff Matthews. As the co-founder of ShowOff Marketing, Brandon has specialized in aggressive street marketing, promotions, and for the entertainment industry. He does things like guerrilla marketing. He ventured into media and founded KillerBoombox.com with my other big homie, G Valentino. I see you in the chat, man. He produces various online and print series, a ton of unique and digital music events. He's worked closely on campaigns with Static Selector and Terminology, who happen to be Massachusetts grown. So go ahead and continue to put the flame emojis in the chat for my big homie, Brandon Matthews. What's up, B? That's what's up, man. That's what's up. We can't hear you, but
how about now?
Back in here.
We good?
Got
We good?
you. Now you're in the game.
Good.
All right, what's going on with y'all?
What's
We
up,
having
B?
some technical issues on my side. We're good though. What's going on with you guys?
It's all good. It's the Zoom era. Everybody's used to it by now.
Oh yeah, you already know the delay and all.
For real, for real, for real. So I definitely want to thank again all of our judges for being here. Thank you all so much. The chat is blazing right now. Continue to show us love. Tell us where you're from, and let's get to it. So in terms of our contestants tonight, over the past 2 weeks, you've seen and gotten to know these three contestants: Eva Davenport, C4, and Miranda Ray. We've had amazing responses from you guys. I'm telling you, the viewers, you guys have cast over 800 votes via text in the BAMS Festival website just to represent for these artists who put it all on the line to win a spot on the 2021 stage. All three artists did an amazing job, and we're so proud of them. Now that you all have been here, I want to dive into each artist's performance. As we dive into our discussion, we will use the following criteria to judge each artist. We'll judge them on overall performance, we'll judge them on their presentation, we'll judge them on stage presence, and last but not leastly, we will judge them on lyricism. So we are going to move forward and kick it off with the artist who actually started the Verses and Vibes battle, Miss Eva Davenport. So Eva represents Boston. I know she also represents Rhode Island, so shout out to Rhodey. She's an emerging R&B soul. She's an emerging R&B and soul singer-songwriter who captivates audience through thought-provoking lyrics and melodies. Eva released her first project, a motivational EP called Letters to Self, last year in 2019. So that's just a little bit to refresh your memory about Eva. What we're going to do now is dive right into what you guys have been waiting for, and we're going to discuss Eva's presentation, her lyricism, and the overall performance. So let's see. Let's do a ladies first situation right now, and we'll start with Candace. Candace, what did you think about Eva's overall performance? We can't hear you, Mama.
My fault. I said I love Eva. I like her confidence. I like her quirkiness, her originality. Her look is very unique. She brings a certain playfulness to the genre, which I really appreciate.
Any constructive criticism?
In terms of constructive criticism, I feel like she is still growing as an artist. She's still really young. She's still finding her voice, finding who she is. So I'm excited to see how she kind of moves down her path, because it's very unique to her.
Sure. Phonte, what do you think about Miss Eva Davenport?
Can y'all hear me? Can you hear me good?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, of the three, Eva was my least favorite. I was not. I wanted to like it, but I wasn't moved by it. I thought she opened the thing. Well, let me start with what I like. What I liked was that I could definitely tell that she enjoys performing. Just watching her perform, I can definitely tell that she enjoys the stage, and that's just her place where she just really, enjoys being, and she finds happiness on the stage. So and that was palpable. I could sense that.
For
What
sure.
I saw on the other side, I thought she just opened way too high. Like she just came in on that first note, and it was just like, oh my god, And when you open a song that high, it doesn't really give you anywhere to go. A song kind of has to build and tell a story, and when your first note is just on 10, then I mean, your dynamics are shot. You don't have anywhere to go from that. So yeah, I thought the song opened way too high. I thought she was tried to do like just way too many runs. I thought the lyrics were just a little too over-explanatory. The first song, it was she had like this heart metaphor about like a heart and a gun, and the trigger goes bang, and it just was kind of mixed and muddy, and it didn't really connect for me. The second song about her mom, you know, the thing with mama songs, or think about any songs, that I always tell songwriters, you always have to center yourself in your narrative. And so, if you want to write a song about your mom, that's great, but you still have to put yourself in that story. Because if I'm coming to the show, listen, I'm sure your mother's a wonderful woman, but I didn't pay money to see your mama. I came to see you. You know what I'm saying? So if you're gonna tell that story about your mom, you have to connect and show me what that means to you. Like where does that connect back to you? So say for instance, if you were in an abusive relationship, right? And in the first verse, you talk about how you were in an abusive relationship. And then in the second verse, you talk about how your mom was in an abusive relationship with your dad. And then you saw that, and that inspired you. Your mom's courage to get out of that inspired you to go. You know what I'm saying? So, but
Mhm.
it just felt that song, it didn't connect for me. I didn't feel like she centered herself in it. And yeah, I would just want my note for her would just to pull back some. I felt that she was going for this big kind of emotional sweeping thing, and it just kind of fell flat, and was kind of empty. So she was my least favorite performance of the three, but I hope she keeps going because I do think there's potential there, but that potential didn't show up in that performance for me.
So your largest overall advice to Eva would be is that even when you're making music, or rather centering your songwriting around someone else, you have to be in it. You still have to be a focal point in it.
You have to because you're kind of the vantage point that the listener is hearing. You know what I'm saying? Like, the example I always give, and I've, told this example before when I do songwriting workshops, whatever. I use like Tupac for an example. A song like Brenda's Got a Baby. I never liked that song. um, because it's basically a book
Really?
report. Oh God, I hate that
Okay.
song. You know what I mean? It's a book
Okay.
report. You didn't tell me anything in that song about Brenda that I couldn't have found out by reading the paper. You know what I'm saying? Brenda
Mhm.
had a baby. She was a prostitute. She got killed. She was in the trash can. Debate. Like, who was Brenda to you? Was Brenda your neighbor? Was she, a girl you tried to holler at and she turned you down, and then she got with the drug dealer and the drug dealer did it? Was she your cousin? Who was she to you? But if you look at the other side and you look at a song like Dear Mama, you know, that is a song that spoke to everybody because there's a real emotion there. And him saying, even though you was a black fiend, you was still a black queen, even though you was a crack fiend. Like, you know, for you to say and admit in a song, my mother was a crackhead and I still had to find a way to love her. Like, that's a song. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that
Yeah.
real. That's a real emotion. And so, yeah,
Yeah.
when you're writing those songs, no matter what it is, if you're telling a story, you still have to let the listener know what that story means to you and why we should care about it. Because otherwise, it's not a song; it's just a book report.
Gotcha. Gotcha. All right, Brandon, can you give us a little more balance, my guy?
Yeah. So yeah, I definitely like Eva Davenport and what she does. I've always felt that her performance was her strongest asset to me. I always felt that I enjoyed seeing her perform, and I was really into her performances a lot more than just the recorded music. I think that in regards to her music being recorded, I do think that it is good. I think that she hasn't necessarily, and it could just be producers that she's working with or something like that. I feel like she hasn't necessarily sat down yet and really found her sound. You know what I mean? Like the
Hmm.
sound that gets me. You know what I mean? I've heard a lot of different elements of some great music from her. Like there's been a few projects I can name where I'm like, oh, she stands out to me. You know what I mean? But when I come back to her music, I still feel like, maybe it's just that maybe she needs a person who's experienced in all genres or something like that who can kind of bring something out of her sound that gets her out of this box. But I think overall on the performance side, for me, I think that she's comfortable on stage. Just as they were saying earlier, she feels very more comfortable there. I think that's probably one of the places, at least from when I've been around her, that she probably feels the most comfortable is being on that
Hmm.
stage. So I think that she definitely is a natural entertainer. I just think that there just needs to be more that puts her out there that makes her stand out. You know what I mean? In our current selection of music.
Gotcha. Gotcha. So Eva really nailing down her own sound is going to be critical to her success for you.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I think
Awesome.
that if she
Okay.
gets the right person that has the right experience, I think they might bring something out of her that she might even not even know she has. You know?
Hmm.
I agree.
Yeah. Yeah. We all know, working in the industry, that producer artist synergy is so important, but that once you find it, you really tend to take off in your trajectory. So sound advice. Thank you guys so much. Is there anything else we want to talk about? We talked about the overall performance, but what about the presentation of the video and her music, her lyricism? Is there anything else that you guys like to add? She's live in the chat, so you can talk directly to her.
Uh,
I mean, I think.
well,
Oh,
yo,
go ahead.
hey, you got it, bro. You got to go ahead.
I will say, at least for me, I think a lot of her visuals are like really crisp and clean. I think for me now, though, especially with this year, with people just pushing the creative boundaries so far with such limited amounts of resources, everything's so digital and everybody has really had to kind of put their best foot forward. I think for me, I would have liked to just have seen something a little bit more eye catching for me. You know what I mean? Whether it be, I don't know, just throwing random ideas out there, some type of animation or something that incorporates some new technologies, or just because we've seen so much high level creativity this year. I think for me personally, I just want to see a lot more of that.
Got it, Phonte?
I think I think for me, I thought the visuals were fine. I really like, just the presentation. She had like the shaved head and the braids, and like the makeup was great. Like, I mean, I thought, you know, it was it took me, kind of caught me off guard, because she didn't sound like what I was expecting her to sound like based on the look. Like, with, the shaved head, the braids, like she looked really fierce, and I was expecting, like, I don't know, like just something with a little more bite to it. And then the song started, and I was just like, oh, okay, this is not what I thought, but I'm still in it. So the thing I would just say to her, is just to, I really just thought I would study songs, like study songwriting more. The example I always use for artists is Rocket Man by Elton John. That's like one of my favorite songs, like, ever. And
Yeah.
the genius in that song is that the song is about an astronaut. Like, that's literally what the song is about. But because of the way it's written and the melody and just the chords, the story that those chords tell, that song can be related to so many things. Like, I've heard people say that, you know, that song reminds them of divorce. You know what I'm saying? Being away from your kids. I've heard people say that, that song, to them, is a metaphor for drug addiction. Like, being on another planet, away from the people who love you. So when you write those kind of songs, you have to write a song and leave room for the listener to find themselves in it. Like,
Mhm.
when you kind of override and just like this explain every single detail and leave nothing to the imagination, you don't really leave the listener any room. You don't leave them any room for imagination, and that's kind of where the magic is. So that's what I would say to her, just to focus on, like, study great songs, great songwriters, and really just, I think with her, the key is going to be less is more. Instead of just going for the big sweeping emotional moment, find the magic in, like, pulling back and in the restraint, and finding, kind of being in that gray, and being there. And I think that's, once she kind of masters that, that's when I think she'll kind of unlock her her superpower.
So thank you for that, Candace. Anything else? One last thing for Eva.
I think she should embrace her quirkiness more, right? So I think with this performance, she's in all black. The piano is playing very intimate, very stripped down, but I know that there's more to it. I think I would have preferred like a more just decadent outfit. Like just pushing the envelope more visually because she's a stunning singer. So I think just pushing the envelope visually, because she can. I like to see more of that, embracing that quirkiness, that playfulness, her spirit. Really, I think it'd be great.
Got it. Got it. So yeah, Eva, I see you in the chat, Mama. You're awesome, and I hope you're taking all of this advice from these amazing judges this evening. But we're nowhere near done. We have two more artists that we're going to review. But before we do that, continue to drop in the chat where you're from, who you're here to see, or anything else that you want us to know this evening before we move into our next artist review, who's going to be a gentleman born and raised in Brockton by the name of C4. He's a multi-genre artist with a highly energetic stage presence and rap cadence like no other. I'm reading this from his bio. That's what he said, y'all. From pure rap to R&B to punk, pop, funk, and even soul. He's an 18-year-old artist, and he embodies the very essence of versatility in his music. His latest album, titled Recovery Island, was released earlier this year. So we'll switch it up a little bit, and we'll start with Brandon. Overall performance-wise, did you enjoy C4?
I did. I've had the option of seeing this guy actually a couple of times, so I was kind of prepared for what I saw. Every time I've seen this kid on stage, I think the thing that has always caught me is he always does a homage to Boston. Like showing like the history and stuff like that. So I thought that's always been cool. I think he captivates you when you watch him. I've seen his process, so I've seen him and how like crazy he is about like breath control and perfecting his stage presence and stuff like that. I definitely a lot of that comes through for me in his performance. I think that every time that I've watched him, especially in this, I've just watched to see what he's gonna do. He definitely stands out to me from a lot of especially the artists that I've typically seen him perform around as well. One, the energy level is typically a lot higher than everybody else's, and the boy can rap. Like you can tell he's been around people that did not put him into anything. Like they really made sure he knew how to rap, and that's the part that definitely stands out for me as well. Is that you can put him up against a lot of these other guys, and he can hold his own.
Dope, for sure. Energy was a big thing in his performance, man. He was. Yeah. Phonte, what do we think about C4?
I really liked C4. I really enjoyed that performance. For me, he had the best stage presence out of everyone. I thought that he was, great performer, great energy. I probably would have liked to, if I was, doing the performance, I probably would have liked to see him go with the handheld mic rather than the one on the stand, because he kind of had to restrain himself to stay in the mic. I felt like if he had one in his hand, he could have been more, more expressive. But no, great performer. I really thought I really liked his musical choices. I thought the music was really good. I didn't realize he was that young. I didn't realize he was 18. That's crazy. Yeah, I didn't realize he was that young. But no, great performer. I thought for me, the rapping to me I thought was fine. The rhyming didn't really move me in that way. It was cool, neither here nor there for me. To me, his magic was in his singing. He has a beautiful voice, like a beautiful, really expressive voice. And I think for him, in his, I can definitely hear his influences. I'm hearing some Kendrick, I'm hearing some Anderson, you know what I mean? Those guys that kind of walk line, So I definitely hear his influences. But to me, where he really took off was when he started singing. It was in that second record. I can't recall the name of it, but that second song where he was like singing at the end, I thought that was great. And but yeah, I like this brother. He really, for him to be that young and to have that much of a command of the stage, I have no doubt that he's gonna do some things, if he sticks with it. So yeah, big ups to C4.
Dope. Candace?
I enjoy C4 a lot as well. So I loved his passion. His energy carries the performance. You can tell he's devoted to his artistry. The live band was a great move. It really played up all of his energy, you know what I mean, his capabilities, both as a rapper and as a vocalist. So I really enjoyed his performance as well.
Dope, dope, dope. C4, I haven't seen you in the chat yet, love, but Phonte said, lean on the. He said your bread is buttered on the side of singing, my guy. So that's your one take this afternoon.
I mean, listen, I'm just one man. That's just my opinion. But that was what stuck out to me. Like when he started singing, I was
Yeah,
like, oh man, like
yeah.
this is dope. So
But
yeah.
when you think about that yourself as a songwriter and also, I'm sorry, as a singer and also a lyricist, that's kind of become the norm for, melodic rapping is really where it's at right now. So to really lean into that, and everybody can't sing, right? Some people could just hold a melody, but everybody can't sing. The brother can sing.
No, he can really sing, like not no auto tune, not no faking. No, he was really singing. I mean, I was noticing his control when he would go from his rhyming verses to his singing verses, and he came in on his singing verses, and he was still in perfect pitch. And that is something. It sounds effortless, but that is something that is very hard to do because singing and
Yeah.
rhyming, they're kind of two different schools. It's kind of two different muscles that you kind of have to work. And he pulled it off without a hitch. And so, yeah, I really enjoyed his performance.
No, he really did kill it, as everybody did. But I really, really noticed. I think to be 18 really, really impressed me. And I'm not a judge, but stage presence is everything. And there are artists who are not as talented who get by on their stage presence alone. So that's so important.
100%.
So important. So C4, I finally see you in the chat. Shout out to you, love. Awesome.
Yeah, shout out
I'm
C4.
loving,
Yeah, it was dope.
I'm loving this. Everybody in the chat still showing everybody love. Continue to let us know where you're from. And we're gonna move on to the final artist who participated in the Versus or Vibes battle, and that is Miss Miranda Ray, who also represents Boston, Beantown in the house. She's a self-taught R&B and soul singer-songwriter. Her influences are Sade, Jill Scott, which I saw a lot of in her performance, Adele, India Ari, Badu, and a plethora of other songstresses. But she found her own lane, and it came out in her inspired debut called Defying Love in 2016. Her second EP, Excuse My Baggage, was released last year in 2019. So again, we'll mix it up again, and we'll actually start with Phonte. Let's talk about Miranda's overall performance, and we'll discuss everything all at once. Kind of give me the whole spiel on her overall presentation, her lyricism, and her stage presence.
Miranda Ray, for me, this was my favorite performance of the three, and for my money, if I had to pick a winner, I mean, it's not even a question. The thing that took me over the top for her, I loved C4's performance. He was, it was great energy and everything. The thing that took me over the top for Miranda Ray, she was the only one of the three that made me actually go and check out her music on Spotify. Like,
wow,
she was the only one. Everything else, like all the other performances I saw and I watched it and I was like, okay, that was dope, but I didn't need any more of it. I was like, okay, that was dope. Cool. That was a good experience. But with her, I saw her performance and I was like, yo, I want to hear more of her. And I want to hear what her recorded material sounds like, because if she sounds like that live, then I can only imagine that the recorded material is even better. And it was. And, I went through and listened to like a couple of her joints, you know what I'm saying? And she just made really good musical choices. I knew, I've been doing this kind of for a long time. So I knew when her first, I mean, I only made like 2 records in my life. But I knew when she first came on, when she, when her performance started, in her, it's just the guitar player and the bass player, and they ran through, the changes in the song. They ran through the chord changes. When I heard the changes, I was like, that's it. And the thing I always tell songwriters, the chords, the music should tell a story before you even open your mouth. And when I heard the musical choice, I was like, yo, she got it. Like, this is it. And then she started singing. And the main word that came to my mind while I was watching her, because I watched all the performances, multiple times. But the thing that just came through for me, the word that kept coming to my mind for her was sincerity. Like, there was just a sweetness and a sincerity in what she was singing. And lyrically, the lyrics were very simple. It wasn't really flowery or anything like that. It was very simple, but the chords and her phrasing and the way she was singing a certain word on a certain chord, that just gave it a depth that I just didn't hear in any of the other performances. And this was my favorite performance, hand down. And I saw, like, after, like, we had a call earlier today, you know what I'm saying? And she won, I think, the Boston Music, the R&B artist or something like that.
Yes, she's the R&B Artist of the Year for the Boston Music Awards, which is a huge deal.
Yeah. And let me just say, I did not know that when I was sent
You
the
did
videos
it.
to watch.
Yep.
Everything was blind. I just opened. I didn't know who anybody was. I was like, yo, I'm just open up and I'm pressing play. And I didn't know anybody's story or anything. And she was the one for me that just, it was just no contest. Great, great use of her voice, really restrained. It was just really, really tasteful, just a really tasteful performance. And yeah, I mean, for me, she was the winner far and away.
Wow. Phonte with the always thoughtful commentary. I felt like you were talking about me, man. I got chills like I was Miranda. That's crazy feedback, man. Miranda, I see you in the chat, mama. Shout out to you. Shout out to all of our artists, though, of course. Candace, what did you think about Miranda's overall performance, her lyricism, her stage presence? What did you think?
I agree with Phonte in that it's very sincere. The lyricism is simple because she knows how to convey emotion through her vocals, right? So I feel like for Eva,
Yes.
it was more like I want her to get a little crazier, but Miranda, it was the same kind of intimate feel, but it felt like it was her. It embodied her spirit very, very well. And she's a gorgeous voice. So I was blown away as well. It's just fantastic. Amazing.
Yeah, for sure. Brandon?
So definitely piggybacking on what they said. I mean, she was definitely the highlight for me as well. I'm probably I was actually probably in the same position. I hadn't heard too much of her music prior to being sent everything. I definitely saw the mention with like Boston Music Awards, and then she had gotten some press earlier in the year, but I hadn't necessarily got really too hip yet. But yeah, she's definitely been in rotation on my title since, and she's really, really dope.
Yes.
I have to say, I've been craving some good R&B music, like some singers, not like, what we're kind of celebrating around, you know what I mean? But like some actual singers, and she kind of filled that void for me. So, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
hands down,
And the
she's
thing that
one for
I
me.
like, and the thing that I like was that, it's when she says, Sade, is very telling. I think that she mentioned Sade as an example, as an influence, because Sade, I was reading an interview with them. It was some years back, and I think it was Stuart Matthewman, who's one of the players in the band, and he said, like, straight up, he was like, "Listen, we're not the most virtuoso of players." He's like, none of us, even Sade herself is not a virtuoso singer, and we're not just virtuoso players. But what we have when we play together, ain't nobody seeing that. There's just something that happens when we play together that's just a chemistry that's unique to us. And that's something that I just really, when I listen to young singers or just singers in general, just in art in general, it's really about just finding that thing that's unique to you, and it doesn't always have to be the big bombastic, over the top American Idol note. It can just be just that those quiet places, just those things. And I think Candace really said it really well. Like, she just has a way of delivering a lyric. And there was one lyric in particular, she was singing, and please pardon me, Miranda Ray, if I butcher your song, but I think the lyric was fall in love and do this and doing the same thing. And that was just something that was so, it spoke to me in a real way of how you can fall in love with a person. You can fall in love with people over many people, but until you change yourself and focus on your own foolishness, you're going to keep repeating that same pattern. And again, that was just a simple lyric, but it was truth in it. And so, nah.
Yeah. And all of us can relate to that.
100%.
For sure.
Yep.
Wow. Candace?
No, I was agreeing.
Too funny, too funny. Man, you guys are going crazy in the chat. Miranda, I see you. Timmy, Antonia, everybody, I see you guys. I may not know you, but I'm giving you a shout out because you could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with us. And unless there are any last words from our judges, are there any before we go into deliberation mode? Anything else? Anybody want to say to any of our artists?
Man, just I would just say thank you all, just for having the guts to like put yourself out here in this way. You know what I'm saying? Every time as an artist, every time you release a new album or a new project or new song or just anything you created to the public, that requires a great amount of courage. And just the fact that you've made it this far, no matter who wins, quote unquote. And this is not the stereotypical, oh, we're all winners. Nah, everybody ain't gonna win. But but the fact that you made it here, you know what I'm saying, that already puts you a cut above. It was a lot of people you had to get past in order to get here. And regardless of the outcome, I just think that, a big lesson to me, we were talking about earlier on the chat, in our chat, this is just one thing, like this is just one instance. This is just, I mean, a career is a very long time. And, if you believe in yourself and can get people to believe in you, then you're going to be fine,
Yeah.
So regardless of whatever, don't walk away from this feeling defeated or feeling whatever. This is just the start, and just keep going, keep creating, and keep working to find your voice.
I couldn't have said it any better. Phonte with the Sunday sermon on a Friday.
As I drink from my communion cup.
Come on now. It goes down with the brown.
Yes, indeed.
Well, listen, guys, we could fool around all night, but we're going to go into deliberation mode. That was a great conversation. Artists, audience, I hope you really appreciated and enjoyed the commentary. But we're going to take a quick break so that our judges can go down their rubric and give final scores and choose the winner. But while we do that and go on our other end of the production side, we're going to have a quick message from the BAMS Fest founder and executive director, Ms. Catherine Morris.
Hey everyone, what's up? It's Catherine, founder and executive director of Boston Art and Music Soul Fest, better known as BAMS Fest. We are a 501c3 nonprofit arts and culture organization that breaks down racial and social barriers to arts, music, and culture for artists of color and communities of color across greater Boston and beyond. When the pandemic hit, y'all, like all businesses and organizations, we were sitting here struggling, trying to figure out how do we continue to support artists, communities, everyone in times like this. So we reached out to our good friends at Berkshire Bank, who graciously supported the idea of a virtual music competition called Versus or Vibes Battle. And the goals were simple: give artists the opportunity to perform safely and encourage a little friendly competition for our third annual Boston Art and Music Soul Festival, tentatively scheduled for June 2021. Now we're here tonight, where 3 music industry judges will cast their vote on who they believe should win the battle. So to the 3 contestants, regardless of who wins tonight, remember that this is just one opportunity. Continue to develop your craft, build your fan base, and most importantly, grow your brand. Big shout out to the Box Center and the Bridge Sound and Stage for being our venue partners. It was not easy. And special thanks to Narissa Williams and her team at TCGT Entertainment for creating the performance videos you've been seeing. To you, our viewers, Versus or Vibes has been gaining worldwide attention from DJs, industry tastemakers, movers, and shakers. So on behalf of our board and staff, we want to say thank you for making Versus or Vibes a success. Without you, none of this would be possible. So if you think we should continue more segments like this, please let us know in the comment section. And if it's your first time just hearing about us, visit our website at bamsfest.org. Again, bamsfest.org. I mean, I don't know about y'all, but I hope y'all ready to see who wins this battle tonight. So let's do it. Let's get it. Enjoy the event. Peace.
Can you guys hear me out there? Let me know in the chat.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear.
All right, perfect.
Yep, we got you.
In the audience, y'all good? We loud and clear. Jelani said, "Yep."
Yeah. Yo, shout out. Can y'all hear me? Is it y'all got me?
I hear you.
You live.
Yeah, shout out to Jelani Haynes. Tracks is dope, man. Tracks is dope. Shout out to Jelani Haynes on the beats. It was dope.
Come on, Lonnie. Lonnie, that's my brother from another, man. He's so dope. We can have an offside conversation. I don't want to gas him in the chat, but that's my guy.
That's what's up.
And thank you to all the artists that participated too. I feel like every time as a writer, people ask me about the talent in Boston because they don't know how immense and diverse it is. And I think this contest kind of speaks to that diversity, that richness of Black music in Boston, coming from Boston. We don't talk about enough. So thank you to all the artists who participated and fans for us making this possible. So thank you so much.
Absolutely. Brandon, any words before we announce our winner?
I think the big part for me is hoping that everybody supports these artists, a lot going forward, and keeps, supporting events like this and companies like BAMS Fest. I think we get caught up in a space where we talk about how we don't have as many opportunities and platforms, where here we have one that's doing the right thing and bringing in the right people. So, if we want to have these things continue, let's make sure that we do our part and support these things so that they can. But other than that, the artists, they're a key component, but, the support of the things around the artists are a very big component as well. It's all one big ecosystem. We got to keep it all good.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Oh, man. I hate to end this night, man. I've been having a good time. It's like a little kickback with us. I ain't seen people in about 10 months, so it's a little hard to let y'all go.
Right.
But no, we want to get to the reason why everybody joined us this evening. And again, I want to remind you that the artist that is chosen as the winner tonight is going to win a $1,000 cash prize, rehearsal time at the record company, a brand management consultation session with Analive.com, a professional photo shoot with OJ Slaughter, and most importantly, a performance spot in the 2021 BAMS Festival lineup. So without further ado, and I don't have any personal commentary to make, but it was a very hard decision, I can tell you that. I know that the people who voted, it was literally split like right down, like 33%, 33%, 33%. So shout out to all of the artists. Like Phonte said earlier, your courage is admirable. Your talents are going to take you far. Just keep at it. And we'll be here to support you in the interim. But there can only be one winner of the inaugural Verses and Vibes battle. And without further ado, our winner is, can we get a drum roll in the chat? Little drummer boys, can we get a rubber bum bum? The winner of the Verses and Vibes 2020 music battle is me. No, sir, I'm playing with y'all. My bad.
You pulling the moonlight over there.
Right. They probably mad at me. No. But the Verses and Vibe 2020 winner is Miss Miranda Ray.
Yes,
Shout out to Miranda. It was really, really tough. The judges can definitely, talk to you on their own, but I know for sure that they really enjoyed everybody. But Miranda, slight edge this time. But again, everybody is just so talented. And Phonte, take it away, man.
Oh man, yeah. I just I think Miranda, if there was one one piece of constructive criticism that I would give is in your set, your two songs, they were both kind of around the same feel. But if you could give us something like a little more up tempo, just to kind of show some range, if you have an opportunity like this again, because I went to Spotify and I actually listened to your music and it's dope. And you had a couple up tempo joints. I was like, yo, this is dope. Like she could have rocked this. But I understand some songs may play better live, than not, what I'm saying. But yeah, just, great instrument. Again, sincerity was just the word that kept coming to my head. And I'm just looking forward to hearing what you're going to do. And to everyone else, what I'm saying, to Eva Davenport and C4, listen, just keep creating, keep doing what you're doing, and just kick at it, stay at it. I've been in this business, 20 years, and I feel like I just found my voice, and I'm 41. So it take, Miles Davis would say, it take a long time. It take a long time to sound like yourself. So keep working, and it'll come to you.
Absolutely. Shout out to Miranda. Congrats again. I think if there's nothing else, this is going to be our wrap up for the 2020 Verses and Vibes battle. We want to thank you all so much for tuning in. Tuning in. Shout out again to all of our sponsors and partners who helped us put this together: Berkshire Bank, the Wayne Center, the Bridge Sound and Stage, TCGT Entertainment, the Record Company, and AnaLive.com. A special thank you to our guys, Josh and Griffin back at Gigabit, who've helped put this production together and help us with this stream event. The quality is amazing. You guys are beyond professional, and you're really nice. Like that counts for something too. We really couldn't have done it without you guys. I definitely want to thank our judges, Phonte Coleman, Brandon Matthews, Candace McDuffie. Thank you so much for taking time out of your very busy schedules to be with us this evening. I greatly appreciate it. I know Catherine and Bams appreciates it.
You.
The audience appreciates
you, Sharra. You the new Kiki Shepard out here, so we appreciate you.
Too funny. Oh man, Phonte throwing me off, y'all. But I love you guys. Thank you so much for being here. Be safe. This year is crazy, but we've almost made it to another year. So thanks again. Good night. God bless you. Peace out.
Peace, y'all.